my friends, today on the channel we have a beautiful BMW F87 M2 that is going for sale. We have to remove a 6-year-old PPF, so I'll show you that. We have to make it look as good as possible in a reasonable amount of time. So for this, I'm gonna use my favorite and most effective one-step polish. And no, this is not going to be 3D speed, so you'll have to stick until the end to know my exact strategy. And by the way, the PPF on the hood is a partial PPF, which is about slightly less than half the hood. So we're gonna have a demarcation, we're gonna have a line in the middle of the hood that we have to fix. So I'll show you my strategy to fix that as well. And obviously we have a black metallic paint, which is really unforgiving when it comes to polishing, when it comes to hiding or fixing defects. So for today's project, in this video, this is gonna be a step-by-step process. So you'll want to be patient and watch the video from beginning to end, and I'll show you the product, the tools and the techniques along the way. So let's get into it. So step number one for me is always cleaning the wheels, but first we have to remove the PPF. So for this process, you have many different ways to remove an old PPF. I want to be really careful with a 2018 car. So if we do the math, we have a 6-year-old PPF. So since the car arrived in the bright sun, I took the opportunity to remove some of the panel in the bright sun. The PPF was warm enough to be pulled. So when removing PPF, I like to pull towards myself and not away from myself. This is gonna be more gentle on the paint, and at the same time, it's gonna leave less of a residue. I have better chance to not leave a bunch of glue on the paint. And a second technique that I like to use is to pour some boiling water in a microfiber towel and lay it flat on the PPF piece that I wanna remove. Let it dwell for 2 or 3 minutes and then start peeling the PPF in a gentle way, and be really careful when you get to an edge to not damage the paint in any way. And guys, I don't ask you many favors, but in this one, please, if you find any value in my videos, please click on the subscribe button and on the thumbs up button. That's gonna really help me in return, so thank you. All right, so today's BMW is a track car. This car is used for the track, so I have some really trash wheels caked up with aftermarket brakes. So for this project, we're gonna use the Adams Wheels and Tire Cleaner, which is my preferred wheel cleaner when it comes to really baked up and neglected wheels. It's gonna do a great job, a 2-in-1. It's gonna do a great job for the tires as well. So I don't have to use 2 different products for the wheels or the tires. Use one single product. I know it's not gonna remove the embedded iron, but in this case, this car is going for sale. We're gonna do a quick job, and this is gonna be really effective to clean the wheels. I'm not gonna have any residue, any leftover in the nooks and crannies. I'm gonna use the CarPro XL brush, which is slightly stiffer, but you can use a Boar's Hair. But when it comes to really embedded dirt, I like to use the stiffer one. I'll clean the tire first, and then I'll brush it, rinse it, and then I'll attack the wheel itself. We're gonna skip the barrel on this one just because of the fact that we might do more damage than good, because the barrel is so pitted, it's so caked up. We're gonna leave it black since the wheel is black. We're gonna just clean the face and between the spokes with our brush, and I'll go a second time after with my microfiber, just making sure that with the brush we haven't missed spot. So that's a good trick to really get a good clean. Make sure you have removed 100%, close to 100%. And then to finish it off, I'll use DIY quick beads to add some hydrophobic properties to the wheels. And at the same time, it's gonna sheet off the water off the wheels. It's gonna be much easier for me to dry the car, to dry the wheels. So I'll be a little bit more efficient in my process for the wheel package. By the way, I'll have every product mentioned in this video linked down below. You can save some money, and you have free shipping from Carzilla in the US and Canada. So thank you to everyone who have been using the affiliate link recently. I really appreciate you. Now look at that windshield. There's so many stone chips on it. It's crazy. This car has only 20,000 miles, but you can tell it's been used a good amount on the track. There's so many stone chips on it. It's unbelievable. When I was removing the PPF, there's a few stone chips that went through the PPF that pierced the protection and actually damaged the paint. It's only a couple ones, but still, it's really heartbreaking when you see that your PPF didn't do its full job, right? Now that we have removed the factory PPF from the fenders, the partial hood, the front bumper, the 2 mirrors and the 2 headlights, we have to do a wash before we assess the real condition of the car. So for this, I will be using the DIY Detail rinseless wash along with a pump sprayer. I'm gonna pre-spray the whole car with my pump sprayer, and then I'll use the DIY Detail Legacy Sponge to do a good contact wash and making sure I have a really good clean on every nooks and crannies on this car. And at this point, I'm not worried about the cleaning power of a rinseless wash because we're gonna go through a couple decontamination steps on this paint that is gonna take care of whatever contaminant or embedded dirt that could be stuck on this paint. Next up, we're gonna use the DIY decontamination towel, which is my preferred method to clay a car to decontaminate the paint. This one will not leave marring or scratches compared to other products that I've used. And the clay lubricant of choice for today is the DIY Detail Iron Remover, which is a really great lube, and at the same time, it's gonna help to remove the embedded iron particles that is stuck on the paint. Since this car was tracked, it had quite a bit of grittiness to the paint. Next up, we're gonna use a water spot remover, again by DIY Detail, which is my favorite products when it comes to decontamination. This is gonna be the game changer. The paint is gonna feel really different. You're gonna see the water behavior is gonna start sheeting and beading water, which means that the paint is now really bare. It's well prepped up. Now we're gonna be ready to go in the next step, which is gonna be polishing. Now there's some people that are wondering why I'm always using the DIY system to prep the car. Well, don't knock it until you try it. Since I've tried this system, it's the best way to prep the car. For me, it works every time. It's just a simple, effective, and a really nice way to get the paint prepped. I have not seen better results with any other system. And guys, when you prep a car for sale, it's really important to give a good clean with your brush and your EPC. I'm using the Kochchemi Green Star at 10:1 in all the door jams, in the trunk jam where the dirt accumulate, and most people never clean there. So it's a really important part to not skip. I want to give a good clean in those areas, and as well in the fuel cap, which sometimes the drain will be clogged with gas residue, right? So you want to give a good clean there. It's gonna give a nice touch. So when the next potential owner inspect the car, he's gonna be really satisfied with the surrounding areas around the car. It's gonna look really good, really clean, and really well maintained. You can tell that the PPF line on the hood is still very visible. You can still see the factory PPF demarcation on the sides, on the rockers, or near the white body, right on the rear end. We're gonna have to really work hard at it to make it almost seamless. Okay, now that we have cleaned and prepped the car, we're gonna inspect the car. We're gonna assess the condition of the car. You can see bird poo, you can see water spot etching, scratches, scuffs. Now my friends, we're almost at my favorite all-in-one process that I will show you in a couple minutes. But first, we have to take care of the partial PPF line, the demarcation on the hood. This is something that I told the owner that we're gonna take care of as best as possible. Again, in a reasonable amount of time. We're not gonna sand the hood to remove that line, but we're gonna do our best to remove it. So let's take care of it right now. Okay, as I told you, we're not gonna sand, we're not gonna do a two-step on this car. We're gonna stick to the plan, but for the removal of the PPF line, what I want to try is to use a wool pad by Lake Country. As you can see, it's foam backed, and it's a short nap wool, which I like for the dual action machine. So we're going to use it on my dual action Rupes cordless, right? And also my favorite heavy compound, the Last Cut Plus by the TLD brand, the TLD products, which means the last detail products, right? So we're gonna do a good heavy compound around the PPF line, take our time, really work it in, really make a good correction in this area. So I'm not a pad expert, but from what I gathered over the years is that the microfiber pads and the wool pad have some capacity to remove some of the texture on the paint, which I believe is gonna work to remove the line at least 80 to 90%. Okay, so today's all-in-one is not gonna be 3D speed like I mentioned earlier. I've used this in the past quite a lot. It's a really nice product. I really like the finish that this product leaves, especially on black car. Really wet paint, but the protection is not a very long lasting, as we all know already. If you heard about this product, it's great for a really quick in and out. But for this one, we want to go a little bit above that. And I was curious to try Ivan's LaCroix technique of all-in-one. When I asked him back in May when he visited me, I asked him if he was gonna come out with an all-in-one product. He told me no, that he already had one. So I was really curious to try his method, see if the results were up to my standard right now. For the all-in-one, it's really simple. All the credit goes to Ivan. So you're gonna polish just like a one step that you would do in a normal fashion. Gonna use your favorite compound. In this case, we're gonna use the gold standard. You're gonna polish your area. You can probably polish 2 doors or a whole side even of the car, because this polish is not gonna dry on you. And then you take a wet towel from your rinseless wash that you already prepared before washing the car. I use this wet towel that is soaked in rinseless wash, and I'll rinse off my compound residue so there's no wear and tear on your shoulder as you wipe off your polish. It's a really effective and nice way to wipe off the compound residue. And then after that, you take a second towel that is clean and dry. You're gonna use ceramic gloss, again by DIY Detail. 1 spray per panel, 1 spray in a towel, and you're gonna wipe off the rest of the rinseless and apply this product at the same time. So you're wiping the car 2 times really quick after your buffing set. So while you're polishing, you're gonna remove the polish and apply your protection in one simple step. It's gonna be really effective, really easy, and you're gonna leave a perfect finish and a slick effect by this product. And as well, as you guys know, you're gonna leave some protection on the paint. It's gonna bead water for many weeks, more than something like 3D speed. By doing this process, we're gonna save time. We're not gonna have to do a couple more trips around the car. We're gonna polish, wipe off the polish, and apply the protection in one simple step. And like I said, we're gonna leave a nice protection, much better than your traditional all-in-one products. Okay, for the all-in-one process, I was using the Lake Country HGO pads, which I've been preaching for many years, and I really like those pads, but as you can tell, they are having problems with the backing that is delaminating, right? Here I have 2 pads, but I've thrown away many other pads just like those. Experienced the same problem for at least 2 years. In the past, they used to be much better quality, but nowadays I don't know what happened with their pad making process, right? And guys, I'm pretty much having the same problem with the Rupes. I think this pad, I've used it maybe 3 to 4 times only. I'm not really a huge fan of it. I don't like the bevel edge, and I don't like the way those pads are navigating between the body curves and the panel. But that's besides the point. Just look at the backing edge here. Hopefully you guys can see it clearly. You can tell after only 3 uses, they're already looking like they're gonna delaminate. The backing here is looking already a little bit sketchy, right? So that's not really great news for the Rupes pads. And guys, if you've done some polishing in the past, you'll know that sometimes you'll have some lint from your pads, some dust from the compound. So what you have to do to finish off any job is the tire shine and cleaning the windows one last time. For this video, I'm using the Bola Solution G37. It's a glass cleaner 2-in-1, so it's a clean and coat product. Those haven't been my favorite in the past. I know that the one from Gion is okay as a drying aid, but as a standalone, it's gonna streak in the glass really bad, so I'm not a big fan of those. But this one have not been streaking recently. I've used this a couple times, at least a dozen times now, and on my personal car, and I have not seen any streaks. So instead of using a traditional glass cleaner, When you detail a car, you want to save time. Again, I'm using the same word, efficiency. You're going to clean and coat their windows. And as you've seen in the video, we have polished the windshield. So it's a nice last step, clean and protect for the windshield of this beautiful M2. And guys, if you're having problem with the windows, especially lint in glass, you don't want to see lint in glass, I'm gonna recommend that you use a waffle wave towel such as this one. It's the perfect tool to clean glasses. And the cherry on top to finish it off is going to be the tire dressing, the tire shine. This one is from Bola Solution. It's the tire essence. It's very similar to CarPro Dark Side. When you're gonna drop it in your foam applicator, you're gonna see it's pretty much the same look, right? It's like a transparent, thick gel. They say that it's a matte finish, but in my opinion, it's more of a semi-gloss. I really enjoyed the finish of this product. And guys, for this one, we did not have to apply ceramic coating. We already applied ceramic gloss, which was what we agreed on with the owner. As you can tell, in about 5 or 6 hours, you can get a really nice job, just like this one. You get the wheels done, you get the nooks and crannies, the door jambs, you remove the stains, you remove the PPF, you polish the paint, you give it a really good glow, a really nice gloss. Everyone is happy, and now it's ready for the next owner. And guys, I really enjoy this all-in-one process. I think I'm gonna keep this in my arsenal. It's a really simple and effective way to do all-in-one polish. So guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed the process. Show me your support by clicking on the subscribe button and on the thumbs up button. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.